the way. This is the way.
All right, welcome everybody. Guess what? I have a special guest tonight here on Fatherly Fandom for the watch party for part 6 of Ahsoka. Can you guys guess who it is? Well, I probably already revealed it if you saw anything on social media. But welcome to the show, Keith from Your Status Quo. Good to see ya. How you doing, brother?
Now you said a special guest. When are they showing up?
A little bit later. No.
Oh, good.
You're
good.
special. You're the special guest.
Oh, thanks.
It's like I'm Tobey Maguire talking to Andrew Garfield about how awesome he is and amazing he is as Spider-Man here. So,
wait, you were in a band?
Me?
No, the Avengers aren't a band.
Yeah. What is that? Like a band? I fought an alien out of space. He was purple. So,
but to answer your question, I am tremendous. Always a good time. It's funny. My boss at work is also a huge Star Wars fan. He's not a big sports fan. And we were jumping on a call with one of our suppliers, one of our strategic partners. I apologize. Let me, in case they're out there watching.
Partners.
I don't want to misconstrue, that relationship. And one of the guys is a huge sports guy. So whenever I talk to him, it's always all sports. When I talk to Joe, it's usually all Star Wars when we're chatting. And
the two big S's, right? Sports and Star Wars.
And me and Joe were talking, and it's like, yeah, I've been waiting all week for Tuesday night. And that's like a song from Sunday Night Football, but they say, I've been waiting all week for Sunday night. And that's like, it's like, is there football on tonight? We're like, no, it's Ahsoka. And he's like,
no.
He goes, what, is that Star Wars? We're like, yeah. He goes,
that it is.
I'm like, hey, man, it's all good.
You walk between both worlds there, Keith, with the sports and the things.
I'm a very weird cat. When I was at college at Western, I'm a huge MMA fan.
Ooh, yeah, me too. And
like I had a bunch of people. I was in the Marines, so when I got there, a lot of my friends were older. Some of them were working like on post, on their masters, things of that nature. So I'm hanging out with all these really smart people. But then I would like go to the computer lab to watch like Pride fighting championships on the internet. And they'd be like, "What are you doing? Homework?" I'm like, "No, there's a MMA." And they're like, "Is that like brawling?" I'm like, "Well, no, but they could never understand that part of me."
Come on. It's just the next evolution in boxing, for God's sakes. Only much cooler. For sure.
I was huge boxing.
Do you watch anime at all? I haven't asked you before, Keith. A little bit?
A little bit, yeah.
So, I've been really into a show lately that I've been watching on Netflix, the Baki. Have you seen that?
I have not.
Oh, man, it's really good. You can't watch it with your kids, though. Fatherly Fandom, we got to say that as parents here. Definitely do not watch it with your kids. Not appropriate. with
Sullivan,
them.
I got a new anime for him.
Yeah. I'm going to twist your mind a little bit more, but it is like, it's got like a lot of that MMA kind of feel to it as well. And like the action is amazing in it. I'm just like, whoa, can't believe I found this, but it's really good. I highly suggest that.
I will have to check it out. I've been hearing a lot of good things about One Piece too. I don't know if you've watched One Piece.
I've been slogging my way on through, not the live action one, just the animated version right now. I think I'm in the 600s. So there's over 1,000 episodes of One Piece. So.
Oh my gosh.
But it is worth it. Though some of those arcs are amazing. It is great storytelling. So it is well worth the commitment to watch that show. It is really good. And it's to the point where it's like I am so committed to One Piece, the animated show, the anime, that I don't know if I can bring myself to watch the live action, even though, like, I hear it's really good. I don't know if I can do it or not. So
I always wonder, though, if the real fans of the anime are real fans of the live action, too. Because a lot of the times, what they're used to in the animation doesn't translate into live action. So
right. Yeah.
It was like Avatar.
Yeah, like Avatar or Dragon Ball, that movie. Ugh.
I never watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, and when COVID first started, Doug was like, "Let's watch Avatar. We'll kind of talk about the shows." He goes, "I've seen it, but I don't think you guys have seen it." And I was kind of like, will do it, but I was like, oh, this is going to be painful. And then I ended up absolutely loving that show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like, I was like,
yeah, the cartoon's
wow,
good.
this is so well crafted, excellent storytelling. You know, there's mysteries, there's stuff in the past, everything that you want in a show. And I was like, wow, I have been missing out not watching anime. And I mean,
Right?
I try to watch as much as I can when I can, but obviously, as you know, as a dad, your time to watch things is sometimes limited.
Limited, very much so. It's like, well, I'll get to that when the kids aren't around. One Piece I actually got into because my son loved One Piece and everything. So I was like, ooh, I got to catch up to where he's at. And I caught up to where he's at, and he kind of lost interest at that time. I'm like, no! The whole reason I started watching this show was so that we could watch it together. He's like, no, that's okay. I'm watching other stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. But so I just continued on, and here I am, a grown-ass adult, watching One Piece by myself. But that's okay. We're all nerds here, right? So it's
That's
all
right.
good. And hey, so we were talking about this before we got on, but you haven't seen the little special video from behind the scenes, right?
That is correct.
Let's go ahead and play it, okay? I got this teed up, this Hayden Christensen behind the scenes from Ahsoka. It's really great. I've watched it a bunch of times, but if anybody has seen it, I'm not monetized right now, so I won't get kicked off or anything or demonetized for this. I was talking to Keith a little bit about that, so here we go. I think that it's going to play sound.
It was amazing to have Ahsoka and Anakin back together again.
You know, as I was figuring out the story for Ahsoka, I just really thought, well, there's an opportunity I could bring Anakin and Ahsoka together. It's just awesome.
I didn't expect to see you so soon.
Anakin.
When I got the phone call to talk about being a part of the Ahsoka project, I was thrilled. One is never too old to learn, Snips.
I met Hayden when I was 16, and we were in acting school together over a summer. And to have that kind of history with him, it really was like seeing my old friend.
It's nice if it's like a genuine sort of recollection of like, oh, I've heard that before.
Oh, I've heard that before.
It just was really, really powerful for Ahsoka to see her guard come down.
You lack conviction.
You know her as a stoic, super powerful, on top of it, warrior. And all of a sudden, she's Padawan again.
I'm here to finish your training. Putting on the Anakin costume, getting to wear those Jedi robes, it kind of blows your mind every time. I just feel very grateful. There's hope for you yet.
So there we go. Oh man, I'm so happy that Hayden Christensen is finally getting the accolades that he deserves, you know?
The
It
things
is so
that were
nice.
wrong about his role in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith were not him.
No, not at all. So, oh man, yeah. And this last episode definitely proved it. And did you see there in that clip, he was the one that came up with that line. I heard that before. I was like, oh, that's really interesting. And, you know, I had my little video on what I think that his character represents. And other people have their ideas. And a lot of people are very attached to the idea that it is Anakin. And for me, it's like, well, you know, it's subjective. I think that Dave Filoni definitely wrote in that story to be like the shadow self as well and be part of Ahsoka. So that's definitely written in to this story. Does it have to be defined that he's Anakin or Ahsoka? Not really, but it adds a lot of layers to the character as well. And I thought that was really cool. And that's why I wanted to cover it on Fatherly Fandom. Definitely don't want to get into arguments with people. If you want to believe that that's Anakin, that's great. And he could be. No problem. I don't care. You know?
That's it's funny because on the internet sometimes people just get so uppity about it. It's like,
They do.
just believe what you want to believe. We can talk about it. No need to get angry.
Absolutely.
No need to go crazy. Absolutely.
Did you see my cup here? I've got my little Superman cup, my dad, man, myth, legend cup here.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
As a big Superman fan, I love it.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if I've showed you, but I got a Superman tattoo as well. So I'm a little bit into Superman as well, just a tad. So it's a lot of fun. All right, let's see. What time is it? Are we getting close? We got 18 minutes.
8:42.
Yet. I love that they put Chopper up for that last episode. Yeah, he was the main character in that last episode, guys. You know, it's like
Someone posted, I was laughing. They're like, Ahsoka's been okay, but we haven't seen Chopper.
Okay.
He's like, we haven't seen Chopper murder anyone, take any ships down. Be Chopper. Rest of it's great, but I don't think they got Chopper down yet.
No, and it's like, he's not going to Peridia. He's there with Harrison Dula and everything, and they stayed behind. So unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna get. We might get like a cut to where they're at in the regular galaxy. But what do you think? Do you think this episode's gonna take place all in Peridia, or what do you think we're getting in this episode?
I've had two different thoughts on that.
Mm-hmm.
One, I think that they're going to show up in Peridia, and it's all going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think, are they going to make us wait another week for Peridia and have everything in this episode be Hera dealing with, Mon Mothma?
Yeah, it's her trial. I would be pissed.
I would too.
No.
I was like,
3 episodes left.
You guys do that to me? I mean, I'll still love the show, but I'm going to be so mad at them for making me wait another week.
Right?
And Sierra's in the chat. Sierra, welcome.
Welcome, Sierra. Welcome to the chat and everything. So, great to have you here. So, yeah. Oh, and this guy named Keith Richter here. Let's go. So, we are going. We're going now, guys. It's great. But, yeah, they talked about how, we haven't seen any material from these last 3 episodes except for a few seconds. And the seconds that we've seen, I surmise that it is the Thrawn scene that you see in the trailer. You see his back and everything. And I think in another trailer, you actually see his front. And those are the only seconds that we've seen. So we're going to see like brand new footage here, never before seen. So I'm really excited to see what we get with this next one.
And the scene with Thrawn, it looks like he's on the...
he's on the Eye of Sion,
Eye
right?
of Sion. Yeah, that's what it looks like to me, too. Yeah.
Same. So
we may
Sierra
not...
says, hey, I'm excited to watch tonight. All right. Are you going to watch with us here when we start? Because I don't want to spoil it for you.
I wonder, I keep thinking, too, they could get to Peridia...
Mm-hmm.
And that's a galaxy. They may not find Thrawn until next week. They may be dealing with, whatever it is in that galaxy because you show up with a giant ship like that. People might not look too fondly on that. It might look like an invasion of some type.
Yeah,
so they may be under attack.
That'd be interesting if they were under attack or when they first show up. Oh, and so CR says, yeah, absolutely. Do we drink to that? I think we'll drink to that, so.
We do.
Absolutely. And guess who's here? Robbie from Attack on Show. What's happening? Look, Keith is representing. I was representing last week. I had it on. I had to wear my Ahsoka shirt tonight. It's all about Ahsoka. I love Ahsoka. So good to have you here, Attack on Show. You excited to see? You're going to watch it along with us? I hope so. Don't want to spoil it for you.
I did see a sweet Ahsoka shirt that I want to buy. It's like orange with her face markings on it.
I've seen that. I love, and there's another one too that I've seen that has like her outline on the front, and on the back it says "I am no Jedi." I'm like, oh, it's the same type of styled shirt that I have for Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is really cool. Ooh, Attack on Show, you got a big message here. So, am I the only one who's coming into tonight's episode with lowered expectations? Not that it won't be great, but I'm not expecting it to match last week's level. Yeah.
I've had that thought quite a bit. I'm like,
lower your expectations. Yeah.
Like last week was almost as close to 10 as you're going to get, I think, in a TV show episode.
Right.
I mean, is it going to be able to maintain that, or are we going to get a drop off here? A little lull, and then it'll jump back up for the end. I've had the same worries there.
Yeah.
Attack on Show.
Sierra does too. She says same Attack on Show. I think we all do, and for me, it's really fine that it's not going to be another 9.8 out of 10. I'm still enjoying the ride. And it depends on how well they end this show, and it might be the best Star Wars show that we get. So we'll see. I think we're still gonna have a lot of fun tonight. I'm really excited. I'm just excited about the fact that I don't know what's gonna happen right now. It could be anything at this point. I can't expect it to be on the same level. Sierra said, absolutely. Crap. How could it? Attack on Show says totally good with it. Same. Thrawn will be tonight. Ooh.
I hope you're right.
Me
Because
too.
I have a feeling that we may get them in a new galaxy, but they might not find Thrawn until next week. Or like I was telling Fatherly Fandom earlier, this could be the Ahsoka droid episode. It's going to be Chopper, what he's doing during, Hera's war tribunal. So it's going to be all Chopper going through the hallways and waving to people
and doing some quick kills here and there. He's got to get his fix in at some point in the show. We're gonna have to see him.
His kills per episode average is way down.
Going way down. He's not meeting his quota whatsoever this time around. So we'll see. But the guy, Christopher at Seriously Star Wars, I was on his show on Sunday doing some trivia and everything, and he was telling me that he thinks that Ezra's not going to show up, like maybe until the end of the season or whatnot, or just not at all.
Ezra will be there.
Yeah.
Because they know the actor who played him, and he was on set. But he could be right. He may not show up till the 8th episode and just be a last minute, hey, how's it going, guys? Glad you could make it.
Yeah.
Done.
Yep. You're like, oh, come on. Yeah, so what do you guys think in the chat? Do you think Ezra's going to show up anytime soon, or is he going to be at the end of the series? Oh, Keith says I hope so. It's a good guy in the chat right there. I like that guy.
It's funny because I got it playing on Twitch over here, or YouTube over on my iPad, and Twitch on my phone.
Oh man, you got to play in more places than me. I'm sticking with Ezra being like Fat Thor. I love it. He's really out of shape. Just been letting himself go the last few years. I mean, yeah, he's been stuck in another galaxy. He hasn't had anybody to fight. Only interested in video games and pizza pockets. It would be.
And I hope that's true. So Hu Yang can be so disappointed in him. You haven't been keeping up with your.
And Hu Yang would give him the business end because he likes to tell it like it is, as we well know from Sabine Wren. It would make sense considering that seems the biggest buildup. Yeah, what if it's? I hate to compare it, but what if it's like The Force Awakens where we get Luke right at the end and he doesn't say anything? So we get that turnaround from Ezra. Fat Ezra, eating a pita pot, a hot pocket or something. Yeah. Cut. Dun dun dun. Right at the end. I think we figured it out, guys. I think that's what's going to happen. And Sierra says, I feel like people who watch Rebels are anticipating that the most. Yeah, I think so. Definitely.
Especially, with how long it's been and how much he could have grown and what he's been doing over there. Because, I got a feeling he's not going to be with Thrawn. They may find Thrawn this episode, but once again, they're coming into a galaxy with no idea where he is, unless they've worked something out via however they were communicating in dreams. But if Ezra's not with him, he's not going to know that, Ahsoka shows up right away. So I think we're going to get Thrawn well before we get Ezra.
Yeah, and I had thought for a while there, I had a theory that, Ezra was going to be partnering up with Thrawn in this new galaxy to fight some other evil or other threat in there and whatnot. Because that's kind of what they talk about in the books, in the Thrawn books, is Thrawn's not an evil character. He's just trying to do what he can to stave off a worse evil and everything. He's, trying to make sure that, this bigger threat doesn't come into the galaxy. So I kind of was hoping that that's what we would be seeing in the show. Doesn't quite seem like that's the way they're going to be going with it. They're going to just be a classic evil guy trying to, be the new heir to the Empire. That'd be great.
The reason he wanted to be heir to the Empire from the newer novels is because he thought the Empire was the best chance of defeating the what are they called?
The Grisk.
Grisk, yes.
Yeah.
Which I still think, I've said this on our channel before, I think in Skeleton Crew, we're going to see the Grist.
I
And
hope
they're
so.
going to realize
You
it,
know?
and it's going to be them coming to this galaxy. And Thrawn knows, hey, you guys may not like the Empire, but it's the only way to beat these guys. So sign up or die.
I hope so. And like I saw that interview a while back about Dave Filoni talking about what is actually canon, what it's always been canon. He said the shows and the movies are what is canon. Everything else is ancillary. And so like they can bring in certain elements and it's just like, oh, that's interesting. And I've read a lot of the books, so I wish they were canon too. But at the same time, it's like I hope that they bring that element of the Grisk into it, or the Yuzon Vong or something like that. But it allows them to create these stories and to use these elements in different ways than what we've seen in the books and the comics and things like that. And I kind of do like that. I like to simplify it to say, okay, what we've seen in the shows and the movies is canon. Everything else is just, you know, somebody's telling the secondhand story of what's going on with Star Wars or something like that. And we'll get some version of that in the shows. And with Dave Filoni, he does a great job playing with these toys. So it's really cool to get to see what he does with those. And that's why, like, you know, we see things from Tales from the Jedi that don't quite match up with what we've seen in the books. Like Dooku Jedi Lost is a little bit different than what we saw with Dooku in Tales of the Jedi. And it makes perfect sense now hearing Dave Filoni say that, you know, the shows and the movies are what's canon. Everything else is just, you know, secondhand thing. I like this. Attack on Show says they are worlds between worlds. Yes. Good way to put it there, Robbie. So, yep. Agreed.
Dave's favorite, the multiverse of Star Wars.
That's right. Oh, can we not? Can we just not?
No, I don't think they're going to delve into it, but I like to think that's how the books are. Because I was like, I think I've told this story before. When I was in the Marines, we were going out into the field, and I happened to pick up Heir to the Empire. Someone told me, hey, it's a pretty good book. Because I loved Star Wars as a kid, but I was kind of out of it at this point. I think it was 91. And I picked up the book. I'm like, I'll take it to the field with me. And I swear I read that book like in 2 days.
Yeah.
And then I was so mad I didn't have the last command. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I started picking up every Star Wars book I could find. And some of them were really good. Some of them not so much. But when Disney bought and said those are no longer canon, I was kind of like, God, there's so much good there. I'm kind of disappointed.
There
but
is.
Seeing Filoni and Favreau kind of sprinkle things in.
Yep.
I'm good with it.
Yeah, and you get some of that in these new you know, movies and shows and everything. It's really great that we get all that because it does. It kind of makes you feel like, oh, I read that and he's bringing that in just for me. It's like, I get a little piece of the cake too. That's awesome. I love that. Yeah, man, those were the dark days too. I think I originally got into the Star Wars books when I used to play the game Shadows of the Empire on Nintendo 64 back in the day. And then I read the book after that, and that's when I got heavy into reading Star Wars books back in the day. So I started with that one. But yeah, those were the dark times before the special editions where there was no new Star Wars content coming out. Kids, we're in the land of plenty today, but when we were younger, not much for Star Wars. And if you like Star Wars, you were not cool whatsoever. I remember that. So, and I was there during those dark days. And I still love Star Wars. All right, let's see what we got here. Taco Show says, I never read. I feel like that guy at work who's with a high school diploma making the same as the guy with a degree. It's okay, Robbie. You didn't have to read the books. It's fine. They do have audiobooks though too.
It's true.
You could try those.
And you know what? When I was delivering pizzas in college, I would have audiobooks. I got so sick of listening to music and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I would stop. I couldn't hear
this.
the whole song. I would have audiobooks going. But I don't know if I told you guys this story. NTN one time I got 15,000 on Star Wars trivia. It was right before the Phantom Menace came out, and they were having Star Wars trivia every night.
Nice.
And the softball team I played on, we went to Buffalo Wild Wings after every game to eat and drink, and we would go other times. We'd go watch football. So I knew a lot of the people that worked there, and I still remember I got 15,000, perfect score, because there were some book questions littered in. And I'll still remember there was this bartender, and I walked up to get another drink, and she's like, was that you who got 15,000? I'm like, yeah, that was me. She goes, I should have known. And I'm like, How many chicks
Yeah,
do you think
that
I'm
cool.
pulling out of here?
Yeah, I know, right?
How many chicks do you think
All
I'm
the
pulling out of
chicks.
here because of that? She goes, the same as every night, 0.
Oh, jeez.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I didn't
Did
need
you
the truth.
on Sunday? I saw that you were watching the Seriously Star Wars trivia. Did you get all of those questions right, or
I got the easy ones.
I get it too, man? Oh, man, some of those were a guess, and I still got them right. I'm like, oh my gosh! So it was pure luck that I actually won that. The other Chris, the Nerd Dad, man, did a great job as well. So it was just pure luck at that point that I won that. But those were some tough questions. When you get into the nitty gritty, there's so much when it comes to Star Wars. It's, none of us are going to know every minute little detail. It's like, what company designed this one ship off of this thing? It's like, it's like, is that in the movies at all? No? Okay. Or, not in the books I read, but, oh. So,
The
yeah, that was
shipyards of
nerve-wracking.
Corellia had 3 different building
I
facilities.
know that one.
Which one built Han's Millennium Falcon?
Yeah.
When did they talk about this?
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna check in on the show, see if we're getting close here. Refresh. Nope, still just Chopper. Nothing yet. Getting close though, so I'm gonna leave this on the screen until we get it up.
You know what
We'll
I do
start
like
up.
that they do though?
Mhm.
Like last week when it just came up that this episode 5, had populated, it didn't give us the title of the episode. It you have to wait till watch the
Time to make
beginning,
popcorn. Yeah,
and then all of a sudden you see the name, and it's just like, oh. And this one's
we're
gonna
in
be
it.
Droids on Parade.
Mhm.
It's gonna be
Droids
nothing but
on
droids. We're gonna get the droids from that Clone Wars.
Droids on parade. I'm thinking Rage Against the Machine. It'll be awesome. Yeah, time to make. I didn't make any popcorn tonight. Robbie, do you got some popcorn? I was wondering. I felt like it was distracting in a way the last time I was on here eating popcorn, spilling it all over myself. If you notice. So I was like, I probably won't do that next week. We'll just leave the popcorn out. So
See, and
popcorn.
I've seen Rob's setup at his house.
yeah,
He's got a beautiful room to watch his stuff. I mean,
dude,
talk
yeah.
about being jealous.
Yeah, same thing. I got this room upstairs too. That it's basically like they made this into like a multifamily house and everything. So there's this whole other room upstairs. It's like big and huge, and I kind of want to make that into my theater room once I get a little bit more scratch out there. So it'd be perfect for that, and I could get a setup just like Robbie. And it'd be nice.
It would be very
Sweet.
nice.
All right, let's refresh. Is it up? Is it up?
It's up.
It's up, guys. There it is. It's right over to the sun. Boom. Oh, we got
Part
Balin.
Oh, we got Balin.
49 minutes. The search for Grand Admiral Thrawn reaches beyond the limits of the galaxy. Okay, so I'm gonna take this off of sharing because I don't want to get it hit with that. We're gonna start it up. Recap. Do we want to watch the recap together or not?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. So I'm gonna pull it up here. Are you pulling yours up? I got the Disney logo. I paused it on the Disney logo.
Yep.
So are we ready?
Pause there. Yep.
Ready to do this?
Let's do
All right.
this.
We'll go in 3, 2.
Wait. Do we go at 1 or do we go?
Wait. We'll go after 1. 3, 2, 1. Ah, the bureaucrats.
Yes. We missed Balin last episode.
We did. For Ezra. They've said that every single episode. Do it. For Ezra. Those Purgles look so good.
Everything. They definitely did not took their time with the special effects on this.
Here we go. Recap is done.
Distant Purgle calls. Oh,
I love it. They still show Marak up there, you know, in with one of the helmets.
yep. She's gonna be animated.
Whoa! Look at the color.
That looks so good.
That is badass.
I cannot wait to watch this on my 4K TV again tomorrow.
Me too. Dang. Ooh, were they going to explain it? Ooh.
Yes, please.
I want to read those stories. Yes. Ludicrous speed.
They've gone plaid.
Yeah. And no Ezra.
Listen to Hugh Yang.
Yep. Always listen to Hugh Yang. Old Huey. Ooh, fear leads to hate. Hate leads to anger. Ooh. Yes, please. In a galaxy. He said the thing. He said the thing. Oh, that was great. That was freaking great. I love it. Long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Music is still
Oh, far, far away.
far, far away. Oh, perfect. I love it. Oh, Sabine.
Reminds me of Grogu being locked up.
Yeah. Similar space. Didn't promise you wouldn't be locked up.
All he promised her is he wouldn't harm her.
Yeah. It's not harming her.
When are we going to arrive? A few moments, sir.
Moments. Just chill, man. There he is. Chillbot. Here we go.
Oh my God.
Damn.
Ooh.
Is that Saturn? Death of Mary.
Did not expect that.
Oh, didn't. Oh, wow. All the space whale bones.
Chillbot's getting a lot of screen time today.
He is.
Well, that's a cool little ship.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen any golden ships as much. This should be far, far, far away, Attack on Shows.
That's true.
We will arrive in moments. Chillbot once again up front.
Oh, whoa.
Wow, yeah. Ooh.
Does that look like any aliens we know?
I think it's just the Dathomiri, as she said, her ancestors. Because they're similar to the ones in the first episode that were on that one planet.
You're right.
Oh. Similar architecture as the planet they came from. From that ruin.
And the Ahsoka logo.
Yep. Look at them. Witches. She sounds like Mother Townsend.
She does.
Now there are 3 of them. This is getting out of hand.
I knew they were going to make us wait.
Yep, of course. This is awesome.
I'm telling you, Ezra's going to have some witch power. Or he's going to have another Savage Opress as his apprentice.
Oh,
He going to be in jail?
he was a little hesitant there.
He was. Oh, the wolves.
The voice, that's right, Attack on Show. Oh, yeah, the wolves. Dave snuck him in there.
Yep. I don't like this place.
What's this great power? Where is it?
We're not here for Thrawn.
Hmm. Hmm. The beginning of the Jedi? Is that what he's...
No, I think the beginning of the cycle.
Hmm. I want to break the cycle. He's like Daenerys Targaryen.
Yep.
I want to break the wheel.
Meditate, Sabine. Use that Jedi stuff.
Can I have Robux? That's Dinky Mansell. Thank you, Dinky Mansell. My latest follower on Twitch. You're awesome.
And yes, Dinky Mansell, you can have some Robux. As long as you're in bed, because your bedtime was 15 minutes ago.
Oh, no. Uh-oh. Oh, is that the Chimera?
That is.
Oh.
Oh.
Nice. Oh, wow. Yep, it's the Chimera. Look at the bottom.
Oh yeah.
Look at all the gold repairs.
Yep.
Wow. Wow, that's so cool. Woot is right, Dinky Mansell.
Woot indeed.
And I don't know what that is, but
I think it's a potty emoji.
I love it.
Oh.
All the stormtroopers. Whoa!
Oh.
Dang. Here he is. You think they're zombies?
Thrawn would never let their uniforms or their armor be in such disrepair. But they may not have replacements.
True. That's true. Great entrance. Oh. Wow. I love this. Called it. You did, Tack On Show. Oh. Oh, he knows him. Yeah. Of course he would know him.
Yep.
Yep. He knows her.
Always so polite.
Mm-hmm.
A man of honor.
Mm-hmm. He said the word, perhaps not. Perhaps not. He says that a lot in the books. Okay.
A giant rat.
Gorgeous.
Now the question is, are they going to leave and then Ahsoka's going to show up and find them and head back to the
Yeah.
galaxy?
Could be.
Did he give her the lightsaber? Oh,
Oh, yeah. Yep. Die well.
I'll try. Do or do
Yep.
not. There is no try.
That's right.
It's Yoda.
Bringing back the classic poncho for Star Wars, too. Oh, okay. Yep.
That's not his. That's not his mission here. Ezra has the secret
Yeah,
to
maybe
breaking the
Ezra.
cycle.
Yeah, exactly. Called it, Keith.
I wish she had
Maybe
her helmet.
that's. Yeah, me too. Maybe that's how they get Balin on their side.
Yep.
There you go, Mandalorian.
There you go.
Don't know what it is, but that green lightsaber always looks so good.
It does.
Hmm. Doesn't want to spare his people. Oh.
There's that Mandalorian stubbornness.
Yeah, right. Okay, they're making me attached to this rat dog thing. How is he making this cute? Looks like they're filming on location too. This is like Andor. I like it.
Yeah, this is not the volume. At least it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it doesn't to me either. It'd be a lot of work if it was the volume. It's like, man.
He's gonna go find food.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Balin knew that bringing Sabine was the key to sort of getting what he wants?
I think
They
so.
said it was
because...
a loose thread.
Mm-hmm. He has had a lot of premonitions and everything. He's been able to look into the future.
God, that thing looks so good. It doesn't look CGI at all. It's like they breeded a monster.
That's what they did. Took years to make them. Whoa. Okay, little crab guy. What language is that? How does she know what he's saying? Music is reminiscent of the Ewok intro. I agree. I think we're supposed to be kind of called back to that. Good catch, Attack on Show.
I already like this guy better than the Ewoks.
True. He's not food.
He's friend.
Friend, not food.
He's seen it on Ezra.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Called it. I think my kids are gonna really like these creatures. To watch Ezra use this sky as a footrest. Side tables, maybe, too. It's a red bridge. Minecraft is always good there, Dinky Mansell. Something more than a Jedi. Wild Jedi. I like that. Yeah, I like that they refer to Ezra as a wild Jedi. The Death Mirror.
Oh, you know that's right, Balin.
Mm-hmm. Oh. You notice that green crystal on his belt? Is that a Kyber crystal? Maybe from his lightsaber?
Kyber. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very samurai-looking bandits.
Yeah. Yep. Attack on Show. These guys rock. You're right.
Bum.
We're all dads here. Oh. There he is. Well, I guess it's not at the end. It's Ezra! That's right. Look, he's like wearing chainmail.
Oh, he is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And a fanny pack, of course. Gotta rock a fanny pack.
Wait till he finds out she brought the means for Thrawn to get back.
Yeah. He's like, you did what? I sacrificed myself to get him out of the galaxy. About that. What's this cargo? That's true. I love Thrawn.
I do too. Oh, wait till he finds out Anakin.
Mm-hmm. And he knew Anakin.
Yep.
He knew he was Darth Vader as well. Oh, yep. Thread of Destiny.
Bum, 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 bum.
Ah! Damn it! Is it Tuesday yet? Dun, 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 dun. Son of a bee sting. There we are. All right, we're going to take a short minute break here. I just got to use the restroom. And then we're going to talk about the episode for a little bit, okay? So be right back, guys. Woo! Attack on Show, you said, you've grown more beautiful for a mandatory, I mean. A Mandalorian, I mean. Yeah. Attack on Show says, good episode, not as high as last one, but exactly what I expected. Let me just pause this. Yeah, I thought that was as good as we could definitely get. Let's get Keith back on here. We're going to talk a little bit about it now that we've watched it. This is the after watch party here. So, man, what'd you think, Keith?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was very fitting that the episode that introduces a very calm, cool, and collected Thrawn was a little slower paced.
Yeah.
Kind of building up to things. You know, we had that sort of build up to them coming over to this galaxy, and now they're starting another build up to them leaving, whatever it is that Balin senses, whatever great power he learned in that fairy tale. It's gonna get interesting.
It is. I think that this was perfect for what we got from last week. Yeah, of course it's not as emotionally striking as having Anakin back, but at the same time, we got Thrawn in all of his glory. I just love, it's Lars Mikkelsen who's playing him, and I just love his interpretation of him, and the hearing that voice again. He voiced the character in Rebels too, so it was just perfect. I was a little, on the edge, a little concerned when I saw the first little clip of him from the trailers and everything. I'm like, how well is this gonna translate into live action? But I think it's great. I think that they pulled it off. This is Thrawn. It's like, I'm fully invested in this character now. So,
and we do know that Dave Filoni sent the script to Timothy Zahn and said, here's what I wrote for Thrawn.
Yeah.
I want your opinion. I want to know if you think it's good. And obviously it got Timothy Zahn's approval, and we can see why.
Yeah, I agree. And so, I love that we got Balin Skull back as well. Man, Ray Stevenson, once again, every time he's on screen, he just steals the scene. And I love this development that he's having, and sprinkled in a little bit of his backstory there. So we do know that he was still a Jedi during Order 66, so we got away from it from this episode. So we know that for sure now. And we know that there's something with the Force that's guiding him on this planet now that he's got to get to break the cycle. So we're getting those little tidbits in here as we go along. So I'm sure we're going to find out next episode or the next one what that is. We got Ezra. Ezra's back, and, you know, so he's there. What's he been, like, he's just been going off with these little crab guys the whole time? Is that what's going on?
Well, and I'm assuming he doesn't have his lightsaber, as we know Sabine had it. So he's obviously developing other ways to defend himself and his little rock buddies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if we have a showdown next week between Baylan, Shin, Ezra, and Sabine.
Yeah. And I think that eventually, wherever they're being led to, wherever Baylan wants to go to, they're going to have to team up or something like that. I think eventually they're going to coalesce together is my theory for what's going to happen next. And it's going to be interesting. And it's weird, though, that Thrawn thinks that Ezra's dead, too. So I wonder if we're going to get a little bit more backstory on that, on what's been happening in the time since Rebels.
He probably thinks little of him. Like, he's done nothing since he's got here because he wasn't trying to stop him. He has no idea. You know, hopefully we learn that he's been, you know, learning. There's probably some hermit witch who, you know, maybe teaching him some of the Dathomir dark magic and, you know, growing his power in the Force. Or he's just been learning on his own. He had enough training that... Now, I don't think he brought any of his holocrons with him when they came over. He doesn't have that to study. But, you know, he could grow as a Jedi by himself because he was at that point where he knew enough.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I'm trying to think if there's anything else on this. Oh, I love the fact that, like, you can tell, too, with Thrawn, and you get this a lot in the books, too, that Thrawn really cares about his crew. Everyone on the ship really admires Thrawn because he treats them so well. And he kind of has the same thing with this. He's like, shouldn't we send out more people? And he's like, no, let's not do that. Let's keep them back here. We're trying to get back and keep everybody safe. So I very much like that they introduced that into this. And I'm really wondering what's in those little cargo things that they got. They look like they're big enough to hold a person. What do you think's in there? Like those little cargo things that they were loading up on the Chimera.
See, I kept thinking it's going to be something along the lines, something that dampens the Force around them. Like, I forget what they were in the novels.
Yes!
It would be something that when the Jedi go to attack.
It was an heir to the Empire. Yeah.
Yep. And it could be bring it back when some Jedi attacks them.
Yeah. That's a good point. That would be so cool if they introduced those in this. Yeah, I'm going to look that up real quick. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, let's see. Oh, Yisal. They're called... It's so hard to pronounce. Ysalamir. Yep. Ysalamir. So there's these like little snake creatures that he would have on him that would dampen the Force and everything, which were really cool. In the book Heir to the Empire. So yeah, maybe those are them. Good theory, Keith. Oh man, yeah. But I very much enjoyed this episode. I don't have very many complaints at all with this.
Man, yeah. You know, we now know that Baylan is definitely went there. He was hired as a mercenary because he had his own plans. He could care less about bringing Thrawn back because, as far as he's concerned, he's going to burn this all down and break the cycle. Yeah. So,
I'm still really curious to see what that entails with breaking the cycle. Like I mentioned, like it's Daenerys Targaryen right there.
Especially with him saying, "Can't you feel it calling?" There's stuff or something that he sees.
Yeah.
Who's going to give him power. I can't wait to see what it is.
I can't either. It's just, I love that this show is setting up so much intrigue and making us wonder what's coming next too. It's like I haven't gotten this in a Star Wars show in a long time, and Andor had its mystery to it too a little bit, but man, this is just a whole nother level. So good job, Dave Filoni. You're doing such a good job at this. I love too at the beginning too, like Hu Yang telling telling stories to Ahsoka. We didn't get much Ahsoka in this episode, but it'll be real cool to get her next week, I'm sure. So I think it was a good decision to kind of focus on the other characters because it was very much Ahsoka-centric last week, and we got a lot from that. So I didn't mind it as much, not going away from the main character, focusing on these other characters in Peridia. Dave for president, I agree. Shri Rig, 1992.
We definitely need Dave to be president.
President of Lucasfilm, for sure. I mean, this show definitely proves that he should be in control over there in Lucasfilm and in the future of Star Wars. Because, man, he's bringing it back. I think that this is the best thing that could happen to the fandom in a long time, So there's a lot of healing going on.
Bringing the fandom together a lot like that first season of The Mandalorian did.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Get your drink. So, do we want to give our initial rating for the episode?
Oh yeah, we definitely should.
Sure. So, what would you rate this on the Doug scale, Keith?
We got a lot of really good things in this. We got Balin.
Mm-hmm.
We got some new creatures that looked absolutely amazing. Once again,
oh man,
Kevin Kiner rocked it with his freaking soundtrack. We got Thrawn being in all of his glory, leading back. We got some new mysteries that we're, going to be uncovering. We got Ezra back. Now, it wasn't as good as last week's. Last week's really set the bar extremely high.
It did.
But this episode did not disappoint. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I enjoyed it start to finish. I was on the edge of my seat through a lot of this because a lot of it, we have no idea what to expect.
Right.
Totally new galaxy, totally new world. Like when Balin said, oh, the Purgles come here to die. I was like,
yeah.
Oh.
It makes me a little concerned for the Purgles that are going there right now, too. I'm like, oh, are they going to die? I don't want to see that. No, let's save those space whales,
We're going to find out that all those stormtroopers, why their armor's all messed up. They've been, harvesting Purgle, dead Purgle meat for them to survive.
Yeah, that could be it. It was really interesting, too, to see that, all the gold-infused stuff in both the armor as well as the ship, the Chimera as well. And that has to do with, the Death Mary witches as well, because, as Morgan Elspeth had that on her ship as well, all the gold as well. So it's really cool to get to see that little flare, and that's something different that we haven't seen in Star Wars before. So it's interesting to see how they're incorporating that into here. So,
and I love that the shuttle that they took down was gold. They must have known.
Yeah.
The ship of gold kind of fits in with the surroundings, and it'll be.
Yeah. Man, I like that design too. It was a really cool new design,
And seeing that Super Star Destroyer again.
Oh,
even with all the
Chimera,
the modded stuff, that was amazing.
Yeah, I love that. I knew we were gonna get to see it at some point because that ring looked like it was meant for the Chimera. So it's just yes. And just the entrance for Thrawn was perfect. It's that was beautifully done. Ominous. I love the music that Kevin Kiner brought to him. And you can kind of hear the chiming theme that they had from Rebels in parts of this episode too that they brought in there for Thrawn, which was really cool too. It's just perfect. So if I'm going to give this a rating, I'm going to go, and it's not as good as last week's. I mean, that is a high bar. Can't really beat that episode too much. We'll see what the finale does, though. So this one, I'm going to say a solid 8 out of 10. We'll go an 8 out of 10 for now. We'll see if that changes tomorrow. And you guys out there watching this stream, we're going to be back on for Not Your Status Quo to break down all of this in much more depth on Not Your Status Quo's Twitch stream. So stay tuned to that. Are you guys going to be doing StreamYards tomorrow too, or are you going to be doing OBS?
We might be doing OBS.
OBS, okay.
I don't have any taking kids to driver's ed or anything tomorrow, so I definitely can set up OBS.
Yeah, we as dads, we have to put our kids first here. This is fatherly fandom, for God's sake. So yeah, we work around that kind of stuff as much as we can. But we'll be back tomorrow on Not Your Status Quo talking about that. And I can't wait to hear what Dave and Doug thought of this episode. It's going to be great. And I love that, like, I hate that we're missing them right now, and I hope they get to see this episode soon. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to have them on there. So stay tuned on Not Your Status Quo. And you guys have put in description too, Not Your Status Quo's link in there. So go and subscribe to them right now. If you haven't subscribed to Fatherly Fandom, subscribe to my channel too. Really helps us out. And I really want to be able to produce a lot more content for you guys. I love making these informative videos, doing these watch parties, and just being here with you guys. It's a lot of fun. And Keith, it's been awesome getting to share this with you as fellow Star Wars fans. It's been awesome.
It has been my pleasure.
Yeah, right. Jorge Aguilar says this was amazing. So he says, we got so much in one episode. Makes sense Ahsoka is traveling. Yep. Yeah, exactly.
You know what?
So
that was so well done, because I
point.
was worried because the time that she took to get on the Purgle and come over.
Yeah, a
makes
day.
sense that they have time there.
One rotation.
To start, pulling things together. So I'm glad she didn't show up right behind him.
And I think you mentioned that last week too. I think we brought that up on the breakdown last week, that it was a full rotation, so there would be like a day or so. And Jorge Aguilar says, can't wait to see when they find out what the stormtroopers are made of. Yeah, so it's interesting. I don't know if they're
and what Enoch did to become captain of the guard.
Yeah, I like that gold mask. It's different for him. It's like, ooh. That's interesting. I love the designs on this. Shri Rig 1992 says, I think Thrawn will use the ring and get everyone else stuck because it kills the power. It kills the power. Interesting.
He's definitely going to use the ring.
Yeah. Who
Can
are
you
we talking
elaborate
about?
on
Maybe
what you mean
Balin and Shen? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. So can you elaborate a little bit more?
Yeah, maybe he means the power that Balin is seeking.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Maybe that's it. Caleb Richardson, welcome to the stream. Unless Enoch is a pre-existing character, I might have missed that. No, I don't believe he is a pre-existing character.
I don't remember ever seeing an Enoch.
I hadn't either. Interesting name, biblical name too. Enoch, I think, is in there. So, Aguilar says, all we needed was that Ezra and Sabine to hug to make the world a better place. Yeah, that was pretty sweet. And as a Rebels fan, it was great to see him. I think that actor is doing a great job with Ezra. I think pitch perfect casting for that character. Whoever does the casting for this, just killing it. Natasha Liu Bordizzo, still like her as Sabine. I know Sierra has some issues with Sabine. I wonder how she liked Sabine this episode or not, or if she's still not liking her too much. Oh, we got Shri Rig here, 1992. The power that supplies the ring must be a lot with the big of a ship. Yeah, true. And they've talked, like in Solo, they mentioned that there's fuel for these things and everything. The coaxium is what it's called. So yeah, it probably uses up some sort of power supply. To power.
But remember,
these
if he leaves people, even if he leaves Balin and Shin behind, we got Ezra and we got Ahsoka who can both commune with the Purgle to get themselves back.
Yeah, both of them. And it makes me wonder if I wonder if they say the Purgles went there to die. So it doesn't seem like there's a lot of Purgles that go there and return back. And maybe that's the reason why Ezra hasn't returned to the galaxy, because there haven't been any Purgle coming that way. So yeah,
that's a good point. It's a one-way trip for them.
It's really concerned about the Purgles, the Purgling. We'll see how that goes.
And it was great. Attack on Show's comment about they went plaid.
They went plaid.
Looked like it was kind of a tip of the cap to
right.
George
Lucas and all of his Spaceballs. Yeah. Well, George Lucas is always wearing plaid too. So yeah. But yeah, I like that the hyperspace with the whales and them going across galaxies was different than what we got, normally with the blue hyperspace, which makes sense.
It's faster. It's going farther. Absolutely.
Faster, farther, more intense. Captain Marvel. Absolutely.
Higher, further, faster, baby.
Oh, that's right. Higher, further. Jorge, you say the cinematography was so beautiful in this episode too. Like we were saying during the watch party and everything, I think that they actually filmed on location. I want to read up on this because It did. It looked amazing. This whole season has been awesome for their cinematographer. Their cinematographer, I gotta look him up. Give him props because it's been beautiful. It's been cinema-esque, and give us all of this in the theater, please. I would really love to see it.
I would sit in the theater for 8 hours watching all this, no problem. Because everything, you're right. The ships, like when you see ships flying in a convoy with Home One, they all look perfect. Everything is just done. They did not rush this. It seems like they took their time.
Yeah.
And really did it right. They weren't rushing to get this out. They wanted it to be good. And mission accomplished. Mission
definitely accomplished. Shri Riggy say a long time ago, that was beautiful too. I loved when Hu Yang said that. I felt giddy like a little kid again. Just like, oh, perfect. I didn't think I would. I thought that would be a little cliche, but no, it worked. I like that a lot. Wonderful. Caleb, you say Enoch is an interesting character in the Bible, both in canon and the Apocrypha. In the book of Enoch, he fought the Nephilim Wars, which ends with the flood and the army of giants being washed away. Yeah, so if you guys don't know, in the Bible, there's these huge giants and everything. And the book of Enoch, I don't think that's actually a part of the Bible as well. That's like an ancillary thing in text and whatnot. But yeah, they have the big old giants in there. Wonder if we'll get to see some sort of giants.
Oh, that would be interesting. That would be
crazy. Let's go bonkers with this new planet. Jorge Aguilar says, this gives me so much hope in the Filoni movie. 100%. I want to see Luke, Ezra, Ahsoka against Thrawn on the big screen. I agree. I would love to see that, getting all those characters together. And I think that's where we're being led to. And I think they kind of describe the movie as kind of the end game of all of the Mandalorian time frame as well. So I would love that. I want to see it as a trilogy. I really do. And this would be our trilogy, right there in the middle, the new sequel trilogy, as it were.
The real sequel trilogy.
And there's a video on Fatherly Fandom if you want to check it out about that very thing. So Shri Rig says giants could be connected to those big statues. Could be those big statues that are everywhere. And yeah, I loved seeing like the Dathomir witches and everything, and those voices as well. Like I said, Mother Talzin from Clone Wars and everything. They had that same weird, like sort of dual tone to the voices, which was really cool. And just the design of those guys too, those witches. Perfect. That's exactly what we got in the Clone Wars, and I love that too. All right. Caleb says the 2014 Noah movie. It does. You're right. That if you ever saw Noah with Russell Crowe, he played Noah in that movie. Drew heavily on the Book of Enoch. God, I love that movie. It was a pretty good movie. I like that one too. Jorge Aguilar says, I'm definitely predicting the season will end in the style of Empire Strikes Back. Ooh, wouldn't that be something? With it ending with Ahsoka losing and leading to a Return of the Jedi Endgame movie. That is a possibility, right, Keith?
Oh, definitely. Absolutely is a possibility.
Absolutely. Oh. How hair-pulling is that going to be, though? You see those end credits at the end, and there's a cliffhanger or something right there. And who knows when we're going to get more of this story, too, with the writer strikes and the actor strikes as well. Oh, man. And I don't think Skeleton Crew isn't really connected to this. I think that they've said that. So it's going to be a whole different story. So, that's going to be... One, it would be a great way to end this season. But two, it's going to suck to wait as long as we're going to have to wait for the next season of this. Because like you said, Keith, they're titling this season 1. So I'm pretty sure we're probably going to get more of this as well. I mean, we only got 2 more episodes left. I don't think they're going to wrap up everything in this season.
They can't. There's too much going on.
No. So, man.
Heck, it may end with Thrawn leaving this galaxy.
Yeah.
And we see nothing of him back in the normal Star Wars galaxy.
I was really surprised that Thrawn didn't just show up and be like, all right, let's go. Boom, and just jet out of there. But it's probably, the story. So, It'll be interesting. Caleb, you say, I will say, I love the biblical and Arthurian references in the show. Me too. Absolutely. Crap. Absolutely, Keith.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, like Marok was a knight of the round table who got turned into a wolf by Morgana Le Fay. You're right. And that was the same type of thing that we were talking about. And Morgan Elspeth, I think, kind of reanimated this character, and he was a zombie and whatnot. And they've showed that in the Clone Wars, and whenever that green smoke came out, that was a kind of an indication that he was sort of zombie-like character.
Oh, and I like Jorge's.
Oh, let's see here. Jorge, you say, oh my god. When Thrawn finds out who trained Ahsoka, haha, I'm imagining Thrawn tugging his collar in nervousness.
I am imagining he'll be like, that's interesting.
Ooh, I do remember that Jedi from back in the day. Yeah, and like the second Thrawn book deals specifically with, and it goes back and forth between the time when Anakin and Thrawn worked together during the Clone Wars and when Vader and Thrawn are working together. So like he surmises throughout when he's with Vader that is actually Anakin Skywalker. And he doesn't say it full right out because he knows that Vader would cut him down if he did. But yeah, this is going to be really interesting when Thrawn finds out who Ahsoka's master is.
And he's going to try to use that against Ahsoka.
Yes.
And she's going to be like, you know what? I'm at peace with that now.
Right?
You're a few episodes late, Thrawn.
Yeah. And Jorge, yes, Thrawn does know about Anakin being Vader. He definitely does. From the books, at least, he knows. So, yeah. And she's very much at peace. And I think that's why the last episode, she had to deal with all of that then, so that she would walk into this and not be rattled by anything that Thrawn would bring at her with her past and whatnot. So, yeah, I can't wait to see how Ahsoka plays into this coming to Peridian and whatnot. Oh, jeez. Is it Tuesday yet, Keith?
No,
come on.
I know it. I've been waiting all week for Tuesday night.
Dying. I know. It's just all week.
And remember, at the end of that, the Dathomir witches said, it has been foretold. We're going to see some dark magic trying to stop Ahsoka and her battling it. It sounds like we are going to have an absolute crazy beginning to next week's episode when Ahsoka arrives, because they're going to try to stop her at all costs.
At all cost. Shri Rig 1992. Could Sabine get possessed by the dark magic? Her helmet is red in the opening part with all the helmets. Ooh. And Marok's is blue too, so that's weird. I know it happened in the animated series. I
think Ezra will protect her, though. If someone tried to possess her, I think Ezra would not allow that. So, but it is possible. They can possess people.
Caleb says, cue all the random Enoch theories and the Enoch equals Star Killer theories. Yeah. Yeah, how would that be Star Killer? Like, to, how did he slip on the Chimera during Rebels?
Enoch is Cal Kestis.
Cal Kestis. There we go. Yep.
He's Cal Kestis, Star Killer. There's actually 3 Enochs. It's Cal Kestis, Star Killer, and then who else could it be?
Eli Vanto. That's the other guy. That was actually Thrawn's assistant guy from the Empire. Eli Vanto. I want him to come back. I want to see him live action. And what's crazy too? Yeah. He
carried him with him from each of his commands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he eventually goes off with the Chiss. Like, so he's actually with the Chiss right now. He's working for the Chiss Ascendancy. So he went from the Empire to the Chiss. So he did the opposite of what Thrawn did. And that guy, if they shows up in live action, he's actually got a Southern accent too. Eli Vanto. So it's really strange. A Southern Imperial. I wonder if they could do it. It'll be interesting.
Hey, we need to, go stop.
Hey, y'all.
Leisure time under a siege.
Yep. That's right. And we get Savage Press up in here. You actually get that.
Press.
Yeah. Jorge says, we are going to get a hell of a cliffhanger next week. It's going to be it's already a long week. It's going to be a long week to the finale. Prepare for the cliffhanger. Yep.
It's already going to be just to next week. I mean, we are at almost the longest point till we get the next episode.
Pretty much. Oh, man.
Sorry. But in the meantime, we get to watch this episode again.
I'm definitely watching it again tonight.
Yes.
And then probably tomorrow before we get on for Not Your Status Quo as well. So, and I think we're going to be coming on at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
8:30 Eastern Standard Time.
That's right. So if you guys want to check this out more, that's when we'll be coming on. Oh, I like this theory too. Enoch is Plo Koon. Dave would do that. He really wanted to get Plo Koon. He loves Plo Koon. Filoni
and
does.
He's the one who
so
got
much
Ahsoka into the Order, so it'd be full circle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the one. I brought you into the Order, and I'll take you out.
I'll take you out. Yeah, he did. All right, chat. I want to hear from you guys. Caleb, Jorge, Shreerig 1992. What would you rate this episode? I want to get some ratings, some more ratings. It was an 8 out of 10 for me. What would you say?
8.5.
5 for Keith on here. Shreereg, you said, if he is resurrecting the stormtroopers, he could resurrect the Jedi in stasis with the the ones in the...
They did make an effort to show them during Obi-Wan that there are Jedi in stasis.
Into the Jurassic Park amber that they were stuck in. You know? Yeah. Life finds a way. Jorge says 9 out of 10. Awesome. Shreerig says 8 out of 10. Paul says 9 for me. Loved it. Last 3 in a row, 9s. Yeah. I was, you might convince me, like, by tomorrow after I see it again, my rating might actually change to a 9. So maybe I went a little lower. Maybe I'll go a little higher tomorrow and not your status quo. Caleb says definitely an 8 out of 10. So that's what I said, Caleb, right today. So
yeah, definitely another watch could propel that even higher because it was a very well-crafted episode.
Right.
It just did everything. Some surprises, some things you kind of expected. It really, kept me on the edge of my seat. I was like, okay, what's going on? I love the fact that her little howler was her buddy. She treated it nice. So, it came back to her, and I'm sure that Ezra will be happy that she is able to, work with animals like he always did. And I guess those I guess those weren't really wolves at the beginning of the episode, but probably howlers. But it looked a lot like
it did. Yeah, you're right. And I'm so surprised at how endearing they made those rat creatures end up being. Because when I first saw it, I was like, what is this thing? And then I was like, oh, that's actually, I like that. So
all I could think of is, and I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Yeah.
Don't put that thing open.
Yeah, they probably do smell pretty bad, too. Paul says, Dave is killing it. Any theories on what Baylan seems to be looking for? This great power, the beginning of something, and yeah.
I think it's either some sort of artifact that was left behind by some of the witches, and he may need Sabine. We may see a team up. Like, we may see Thrawn leave. Mm-hmm. And we may see Baylan and Ezra, Sabine, and Shin team up to get this. Like, he's a very convincing former Jedi. He could say, like, if you want to stop Thrawn and end all of this, we need whatever this is that's calling to me. And they may see it as, you know what? We do. Which, I mean, he just wants to destroy everything. I don't think that's their end game also. But I think they may team up. I think we may be...
I think so. Man. I think we're starting to see the cracks, too, with Baylan. Like, he was a little uncomfortable with them taking Sabine like that. And so you can tell this whole season there's more to Baylan than just being a regular old bad guy. I can definitely see a team up happening between those two. And I think you're right, because Thrawn made a point in this episode to say that, we don't really need them. They can die or they can kill them. We don't really care about that. We're trying to get back to the galaxy. And so I think that's what they're going to do. They're just going to leave them all behind, and they're going to have to come together. Jorge says Sabine is going to abandon her howler. How she abandoned her loth cat? Oh yeah, she did. How's the loth cat doing? I want to check back in to him.
We talked about that last week.
She's not good with animals. We did.
I hope someone's feeding it.
Yeah, right. And I want to know.
I was just going to say, she's going to lie to Ezra. Oh, I've been taking great care of that loth cat. I feed it every day. I pet it, and they're gonna go back into
Oh
the
yeah,
skeleton.
yeah. It's like didn't feed them the whole time. They've got to have an automatic feeder in the Star Wars universe, though. But no,
That's
she
true.
did scoop them out. Like they did show
Oh,
her
they
scooping
did.
out the food, and that wasn't automatic. So I'm really worried about the Loth Cat now, guys. This is just I'm really worried. And Caleb says, I think with people comparing this to Andor, when they're totally different subgenres, they're missing the point. Doesn't mean one is worse. They both have different appeal. I agree. Like Andor is good for certain reasons, and I love that show. It's different than what we're getting with Ahsoka. And I definitely compared some of those on wherever they were filming this at, seemed like they were taking some of those good things, those good film production value that they had from Andor and bringing that into Ahsoka. But this is very much more Star Wars-y, much more Rebels, Clone Wars type of thing. Dave Filoni. This is Dave Filoni. And so it is a different animal than Andor. Both are good in their own respects. Absolutely.
Yeah, Andor. Yes, absolutely.
So is this the Caleb? Is this the You Got Caleb? In the chat, are you the You Got Caleb guy on you? Or is this just your YouTube one? I wonder.
Oh yeah, it might be.
You've got Caleb.
And the thing, like Andor, was so grounded away from all of the Jedi, all of the space magic and wizards and everything, and it just told a great story of what normal sort of people did to fight the Empire, and the whole leading up to Rogue One and how they helped. And this is what, like you said, this is all wizards and Star Wars and everything you would expect.
Lightsabers galore. Yeah.
both are great. I love them both.
I agree.
And there's no need to say one is or isn't Star Wars. They're both, and both amazing.
They both have their place in Star Wars, and I love the on the ground feel. And Doug, this is what he loved so much about Andor, and why I think that's his favorite show, is because it gives you an on the ground feel with the common folks and everything. And that's what I loved about that, because we've never seen that before. And just the inner workings of the Empire too. I really like that, and I like that time in the Star Wars galaxy too. Shri Rig says they use Tupperware scoops to dish out food for cats. Auto feeders have to exist. Red Scooper is that scene in an old Tupperware item. Yeah, old Tupperware,
Tupperware, they're everywhere, man.
I mean, that old 70s technology. That's what the original Star Wars, they had lots of Tupperware. The Chimera reminds me of the Black Pearl.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That is
great comparison, Jorge. Yeah,
that was so great. Seeing the way they handled that scene with Sabine, all of a sudden looking out the window and seeing something, and just seeing the Chimera coming over, I was like,
it's a character in and of itself. Like that the Chimera is its own character, and it's ominous, and they pulled that off. That was great. Ugh, so good to see that. So let's wrap this up. I don't want this to be too long for anybody. I've got to go to work here in a little bit. So any final thoughts, Keith, before we depart and hyperdrive on out of here?
Yeah, I just can't wait to see this battle at the beginning of next episode between the witches and Ahsoka and anyone else. We're probably going to have that battle, and then Baylan, Shin, Ezra, and Sabine doing their own thing. It's going to be like classic Star Wars. People going their other ways, and then they'll all come together and finish it out. And I am here 100% for it.
I am absolutely here for it. Oh, God. I'm absolutely here for it. Yeah. Caleb says, I do think I would love it if Dave directed an episode of season 2 of Andor and Gilroy directed it. Yeah, I would love that too. Get him in there. And I don't think Tony Gilroy isn't directing any of the next season of Andor. He's just going to be the showrunner. He says it's too hard to do both. His brother, I think, directed a couple of the episodes of Andor, and so he might be doing more next time around as well. Kev says, imagine if Gilroy directed an episode that takes place entirely in the Senate chambers. With those damn bureaucrats.
I would be there for that. That would be amazing.
Totally. It's just so frustrating to see what's going on with the New Republic, though. I'm like, you guys are failing us. It's so.
And they have to, because we know what happened in the sequel trilogy. If we didn't have that, this could be all new ground, and they could do whatever they wanted.
Absolutely. Let's say it one last time. Sorry, we're drinking a lot here on Fatherly Fandom. So that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed hanging out with all you guys here. This is the best thing about Star Wars on TV, is sharing it with the fans and everything. Sharing it with my good friends like Keith here, and just having a lot of fun, being excited for this stuff. I love it. It's a great time to be a Star Wars fan. It's so wonderful. So thanks again for joining us. If you guys haven't done so, please subscribe to both of our channels, Fatherly Fandom here, as well as Not Your Status Quo. Join us again tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at Not Your Status Quo on Twitch. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to talk to you guys tomorrow. So, all right, Keith, thank you so much for joining me. And from all you guys out there,
me, sir.
Absolutely. Gosh, I did it again! Oh, I can't stop. This is horrible. I can't stop myself. I just can't stop myself with that word, with the A word. I'll say that. So, thank you everybody for joining me. Caleb, Shri-Rig, Paul, Jorge, as well as Attack on Show. Thank you. If you guys haven't done so, subscribe to his channel as well. He's awesome. So, thank you everybody. And from our families to yours, have a good one. And may the Force be with you.